Howdy and hello everyone, and welcome to episode 4 of the Rolling Stock of California. In this series, I'll be looking at all the various kinds of rolling stock used in my home state of California. In this 4th episode, we'll be looking at the history and use of the Bombardier Bi Level Coach. So, let's get started. Our story starts with the 90s commuter rail boom in Southern California. Newly formed commuter rail Metrolink was in need of coaches for its service running across Southern California. At the time, a few commuter rails were using Hawker-Siddeley bi-level cars. However, by the time Metrolink would buy said coaches, Hawker-Siddeley was acquired by Bombardier. Metrolink acquired 63 coaches and 31 cab cars from 1991 through 1993. Afterwards, NCTD and their newly formed commuter rail Coaster was also in need of coaches for their 1995 service start. They also decided on the Bombardier Bi Level Coach, with NCTD acquiring 8 cab cars and 14 coach cars from 1994 through 1997. To finish off the 90s, new commuter rail Ace also needed coaches for their service in Northern California. They acquired 21 coaches and 9 cab cars, all arriving in time for their service start in 1998. In the 2000s, in addition to additional orders for operators who already had Bombardier Bi-Levels, commuter rail Caltrain needed coaches for their new Baby Bullet service and to expand general service. So from 2002 to 2015, Caltrain acquired 21 coaches and 9 cab cars. At this point, the Bombardier Bi-Level Coach was plentiful across California, bringing commuters and travelers from point A to point B. Just like the F40PH in last episode, the Bombardier Bi Level Coach had many variations, and going over each one would take far too long, so instead I'll be going over them in the most general way. The Bombardier Bi Level Coach was bought and put into service in California from 1991 to the modern day. It had a seated capacity of 132 to 162 people depending on the model, a length of 85 feet, and a height of 15 feet 11 inches, a top speed of 110 miles per hour, but in California it ran at a max of 90, with it often being 79, and they were built with an aluminum body either bolted or welded to a steel frame. By the late 2000s, the coaches for Metrolink were beginning to show their age, and in 2 cases in 2005 and 2008, fatal issues regarding the cab car's stability in a crash. Due to this, Metrolink quickly went for a replacement, being the Hyundai Rotem Bi-Level Coach. These coaches arrived to replace the now dubbed as dangerous cab cars and to add on to the existing coach fleet. After this, there was a pretty big gap for coach replacements, with most operators opting to refurbish their Bombardier coaches rather than replace them. However, in the late 2010s, commuter rails Ace and Coaster both decided that they would be getting new Bombardier Bi-Level coaches, being their Series 9 coaches, more commonly known as Crash Energy Management or CEM coaches. These CEM coaches were bought for both operators in around 2020, with them arriving in 2022 for Ace and 2023 for Coaster. As of the making of this video, Ace's CEM coaches have entered service, however Coasters are still in sporadic testing with hopes to enter service at some point during the spring or summer. Caltrain's coaches have been semi-replaced by the new Stadler KISS EMUs, with said coaches only running on the South County connector service to Gilroy. The Bombardier Bi Level Coach still manages to have a good amount of footing in the state of California over 30 years after the first ones entered service. While it's a bit less present than before, the Bombardier Bi Level Coach is here to stay for at least a decade longer, if not more. But with all that being said, I hope you enjoyed this 4th episode of the Rolling Stock of California. Stay tuned for next episode where I will cover the MPI MP36PH.